And I was about to say that if anything, usually they always have some kind of excuse to say, or at least got some kind of reason, like they discovered a glitch that that could cause the game to crash.
Yeah, but
I can
back
at
in
least
the
excuse that
yeah, but
a
back in the
little bit.
day when we had cartridges and like these consoles weren't always connected to the internet, um, like if your game was fundamentally broken, they you
Yeah,
basically I mean, first of all, most games that were commercially released didn't release in a state where they were fundamentally broken like that. What would happen is that the company, like if a game had a bug, not a game breaking bug because it didn't get to that point typically commercially, but what would happen is the developers would release a point 1 upgrade. So like Donkey Kong Country had a 1.0 version, which was the original release. Then you had 1.1, 1.2, uh, like that type of like minor thing. Super Mario World had a similar thing. Super Mario All Stars for the SNES had 1.1, which added Super Mario World to it, but it used a lot of the same assets that was found across all other games in that collection. Um, so it's like this concept of people releasing games that are broken and then like, oh, they'll fix it later. I mean, and why
that's
do
the
gamers
that's
accept
the
that?
that's I was about to say that's mostly of the newer games, which is kind of a bug because sadly it's kind of the only way we're getting anything at this point,
Well, the
which
thing
is
is,
kind of bugging.
I mean, like no other, like okay, if you guys went to a restaurant, right, and you ordered a product, and like let's say you
I
ordered
said it's
something off the,
bugging because it feels like we're going backwards.
yeah, if you guys went to a restaurant and you ordered a dish, and it came out and it was fundamentally flawed, right? You wouldn't like, and you know, like you wouldn't be like, oh well, I'll just send it back to the kitchen and they'll fix it. Like you'd be very upset, right? You might even leave. But gamers are like, oh, I'll just accept it. It's really hard making games. It's always been hard making games, and we didn't have these same types of issues back in the day that we have now. So what's the excuse? But that's neither here nor there. I'm joined by the usual suspects. I'll let them introduce themselves, starting with the lady first. Go ahead, lady. Introduce yourself.
Very cute. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all ages, welcome to be a special maybe podcast. I'm your regular movie star, and I'm actually surprised somebody is actually challenging Activision Blizzard for something that we usually expect of them. Oh, brother.
All right.
This is Kanoshi Abominita saying a lot of broken HD games. A lot of broken HD games.
Yep. Yep. This
And
is Mr.
people seem to love them.
I won't say they seem to love him. Uh, I would say that they tolerate them. But it's Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters, and here we go. We have a lot of topics to cover. We're going to mention some of these. We're not going to go super in depth with some of them because we're saving them for Saturday, where we nominate our a-holes of the week. But our topics are the first one's going to be Rockstar's colossal FUBU of the GTA 3D Trilogy Remaster, which was, I mean, it was bad. Now, if you're someone who's not really into GTA or you played them passingly back in the day, you're probably not going to notice the issues. But I'm someone who played a ton of GTA, especially San Andreas back in the day in Vice City. So like I can immediately notice, nah, this is wrong. This is wrong. This isn't working well. This is off. So for me, seeing the state of the remaster from Rockstar hurts my heart, my nostalgic, loving heart, because, like I said, I used to play like GTA San Andreas came out when I was in college. I played the shit out of that game when I was in college. Wait, let me see when it came out. Because I got it later. I didn't get it when it came
I was
out.
about to
Like I
say,
got it
if I
later.
remember right, certain GTA's were released in 1991.
Came
GTA.
out 2003, 2004.
Yeah, so I was so right. So yeah, when I was in college, like my last year in college, because I got out when I was in So it came out in 2004. So basically, I didn't get it. I graduated high school in 2004. I didn't get I didn't get it until my last year in college because I graduated in 2007. Because I basically skipped a year because I did a lot of extra coursework. So like that last year, um, I got in 2007 because I got my PS2 on sale. I got a used PS2 Slim from GameStop for like $60 because they were trying to move them out because the new shit was right around the corner. It was rumored to come out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the plunge. And I got GTA. I got all three GTA's. I played the original GTA 3, and I was like, this game sucks. Then I played Vice City, and I was like, this game is great. And then I played GTA San Andreas, and that game got me through a lot of rough times in college.
Yeah.
Like, the dorm next to me is having a block party that's fucking up my studying. Okay, I can't sleep. I'm gonna play GTA San Andreas.
Nothing worse.
The guy in the room next to me is being a little too loud with his girlfriend. I'm gonna play GTA San Andreas with earphones on. What I'm saying is that I spent a lot of time playing GTA San Andreas. That's the first sandbox style game I ever 100%ed back in the day. And this was when walkthroughs and FAQs were just kind of taken off for games like that. But I didn't use a walkthrough or FAQ for that. I literally, I scoured San Andreas to find all those damn gang tag spots. I did all the police missions. I did all the firefighter missions. I did all the ambulance missions. I did all the burglary missions. I found all those damn horseshoes. I found all those damn oysters. I did it all to 100% that game. And let me tell you something. Seeing what these Grove Street games, which used to be War Drum, whatever the fuck they're called, War Drum Studios, seeing what they did to one of my favorite games of all times, I am offended.
Yeah.
I am legitimately offended. I'm like, I can't believe you guys put that shit out there the way it is. It's bad. And this isn't a throwaway title, right? This isn't like we just, if they were remastering GTA 1 and 2, no one would say anything. I mean, some people who are hardcore GTA 1 and 2 fans, but even if you're not a hardcore GTA fan, these are the games that basically created they didn't create, they popularized an entire new genre of game and brought it to the mainstream. And you guys would come out with this? Character models being jacked. Some bafflingly odd asset uses. Really terrible character models for important characters. I don't mean pedestrians, because in any open world sandbox game, pedestrians are going to look the same. Any of them. Okay, this is not a Rockstar issue. This is if you play Breath of the Wild and you're in an area with pedestrians walking around, you'll see some that look the same because it's easier just to copy and paste assets in an area where there's a lot of the same shit going around.
Yeah.
But let me guess, they edited some characters to look like other things, like an old guy looking like a young man, right?
Well, that, and also making one of the majorly important, one of the available girlfriends you can get looks like an abomination from the depths of hell. I mean, it's just bad. I would tell anyone, I would say this to anyone. If you're gonna get GTA, if you want to play GTA San Andreas or GTA 3 or Vice City, I'm going to tell you how you can get them legitimately without cheating. Go to CD Keys, buy the keys from Amazon or other sites that sell you the key, and then download the original version of those games. Because even though Rockstar removed the storefront listing for buying them directly through Steam, if you have the download code, the code, you can still add it to your account and get it anytime you want to. And you can do that because that's the way I would go. If you want to play an updated version, because for years Rockstar hasn't really given two shakes. They haven't given a flaming what about the quality of their PC ports of these PS2 games. The base version of GTA San Andreas sucks. The base version of GTA Vice City on PC sucks. The base version of GTA 3, I've never played GTA 3 on PC, but if it's like the other two ports, it also must suck. But there is a vibrant modding community that has basically gone out of their way to basically bring these games up to a modern parity for modern gaming exceptions. So, I'm not going to tell you how to find it. You can go look it up and find your way to it. But I know people are going to say, but Rockstar had all those modding places shut down. Let me tell you something about the internet. Once it's on the internet, it's always on the internet. Forever.
Yep.
That's why you don't put stupid shit you don't want people to know about on the internet, because they'll find it and you'll never go away. So with that being said, what do you guys think about the GTA 3D trilogy remaster debacle? How do you feel about it? Or do you guys like GTA? Et cetera, et cetera.
Like I said, it's sad that a company that's known for their quality in games completely and utterly blocks this up. Like people have been wanting something like this, an official release for the GTA trilogy for such a long time, but I'm not in the GTA, but there are a lot of people who are, and there are a lot of people who are disappointed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Grove Street Games, the people who made this game, who released this series, I wouldn't be surprised if their asses, if they're shut down after this comes out, because they're gonna have to spend a lot of time, man hours, and pay those people to fix this.
Yeah.
But it's their fault, because they took shortcuts when I've been seeing on Twitter people making the comparison that, Nintendo fanboys, Nintendo's 3D All Stars release wasn't as bad as this. Look, both Nintendo's 3D All Stars release and this are bad re-releases.
It was bad for a different reason.
But it's bad for a different reason, and the scope, it's not to that level. I'll give you the example of what Nintendo's 3D All Stars re-release was like, okay? It's like you went to a 3-star Michelin restaurant, and the chef said, chef's choice, I'm going to make the best burger you've ever had, right? And you're like, man, this is a 3-star Michelin chef. They're going to make something extraordinary with their extraordinary type of burger. Because chefs like doing that type of shit. They like stretching their creative muscle with something basic, right? And they go into the kitchen, they come out with some shit you could have bought from Burger King or McDonald's. That's basically what they made. They didn't do anything really extraordinary or creative, just basic. Basic as fuck. Now, here's the thing. There's a saying that those who have great talent and creativity, much is expected of them. I mangled that, but that's basically what it is. Like Nintendo, some of the best developers in the industry, we've seen them do kind of pseudo a Mario 64 remaster, because if you play Mario Galaxy 2, the special bonus area, there's like several planets where they literally have remastered parts of Super Mario 64. I'm like, man, if they took that engine and remade Super Mario 64, or hell, if they took Super Mario 64, gave it better controls, and then took the DS version and added it onto that, like you beat the game as the normal game with 120 stars, then you could get, then you could play it again in the DS version with the other characters with better controls. something like the issue with 3D All Stars was that we know Nintendo is capable of better, and what they came out with was basic as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I was. If you go to my cast from last night, you'll see gameplay of the Render 96 mod, and we couldn't even get anything. We couldn't get. We couldn't at least get a higher frame rate
You know,
or
it's
slightly better visuals.
it was just very look. It was very very basic, and it could have been better. The fact that you
Yeah.
have a 3D All Stars, you don't include Mario Galaxy 2. Um, that's kind of weird. Well, because on a technical level, Mario Galaxy 2 is a better game than Mario Galaxy 1. Mario Galaxy 2 does away with a lot of the Wiimote shit that people didn't like in Mario Galaxy 1. It gets rid of the Astral Observatory, which I know a lot of people the Stellar Observatory, and I know some people like that, but here's the thing, okay? When you're playing a game, you want to press start and get into the action. You don't want to have to run around a hub world trying to find a whole bunch of shit. And like the Astral Observatory, not really that good of an overall hub world anyway.
Yeah.
It feels like everything.
64 is not a good hub world. Thank you very much.
Mario 64's hub world wasn't great either, but Mario 64's hub world was there to show the majesty of what 3D gaming can do. By Mario Galaxy, we knew what 3D gaming could do. We had played many open world 3D games that have better hub worlds than Mario 64. So by that point, it's like, you know, like I appreciate Galaxy 2 appreciates your fucking time. Could you please stop, Jewel? That's very disrespectful.
Exactly how I feel about the topic.
There's nothing. There's nothing disrespectful about it, Jewel. I'm simply making points, and you know, if you want to disagree, simply say I disagree. Here are the reasons why. That's all you have to say. You don't have to sit there and sing, hum. It's very disrespectful.
Right.
But yes, yeah, it's just very, you know, it's like it could have been a lot better. Not saying it was terrible. It was basic. Could have been better. Now, Rockstar, on the other hand, not only they couldn't even like okay, Rockstar. This isn't the first time Rockstar has re-released GTA. They did it like 10 years ago with the GTA trilogy remasters that were on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and they re-released it on PC as well. Those games were just basic. I mean, it was just a basic 720p remaster of the original games. But I'd rather take that than what they fucking gave us. So it's the same thing, but it's like degree. It's like, you know, it's like the difference between, it's like someone stealing from a store, but there's the degree of theft. It's like someone stealing a loaf of bread and some eggs versus someone knocking over a till and stealing like $3,000 of cash. It's theft either way, but one is way worse than the other.
Yeah.
But anyway, anyone else have anything else they want to say about the GTA 3D Trilogy Remaster disaster? I know that kind of rhymed. Was not aiming for that. Before we move on to the next topic.
No, not really.
Okay then. Bobby Kotick's BS. Now, this just dropped like yesterday or early this morning, like one of the two. The Wall Street Journal has come up with a in-depth investigative article where basically they have uncovered that Bobby Kotick knew about has known about these allegations for years and has basically put people in place to basically
take the blow for him.
Well, not take the blow, but bury all of these reports. Like, remember when Vivendi was trying to take over Activision Blizzard, and everyone was like
they're panicking.
Like Bobby Kotick did everything he could to prevent Vivendi from taking over Activision Blizzard. And people thought at the time, well, it's to prevent them from being taken over by a conglomerate. But if Vivendi had taken over Activision Blizzard, they would have had to look at all of their books and personnel and in a merger, they would have had to see all the shit that Bobby Kotick was covering up, and they would have had to get rid of his ass anyway. So he was protecting his own ass. It had nothing to do with protecting the employees and people from losing their jobs.
I
So
was gonna say I was already expecting that he's trying to cover some stuff up, but that much?
well, I mean, look, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I can understand how someone could make that much money and be a total and complete piece of shit like Bobby Kotick, but I mean, to be fair, over the last decade, he's basically made, if not $1 billion, over $1 billion. For basically
Is he
just,
trying to get trillion at this point?
I mean, I mean, I don't think there's a company in the U.S. that has earned over $1 trillion. Not even
I hear you. I'm just saying, is he trying to
Microsoft.
hit a trillion at this point?
No,
Because
but I
I
think
don't
it's
see a way he could do that.
I think it's ego. I think it's ego. Because, like I said, in order for you to be CEO, president, a politician, like those are the type of jobs where you have to have a certain amount of ego. Because, like, think of it like this, okay? In
I
order
was
for
about to
someone,
say, you have to be careful with that ego, though,
I
because
mean, a
there's a
part
difference
of
between being a responsible leader and a total like Bobby Kotick.
Well, I mean, a part of really successful people have a certain amount of ego. It's what propels them forward to do what they do. But I mean, it's kind of like I was talking with a friend of mine, and he said that like the difference between a moderately wealthy like a moderately wealthy person and an extraordinarily wealthy person is a lot of times is a moderately wealthy person knows when they have enough, but really really rich people, they never have enough, they always have to have more, and there's a certain amount of ego driven with that, and that's basically what Bobby Kotick is doing. It's like I have to have more, and I'm like, dude, you had a good run, you've made a lot of money, go away, retire. Say, look, you know what? It's time for me to get out the game. You have enough money to go away. You know? And the window of Bobby Kotick being able to leave on his own terms is the window is closing. Slowly but surely.
I was gonna, yeah, I would say that if anything, it's like trying to do a parachute jump, and the safety window is about to be very slim.
Yeah, yeah.
Because from certain points on, it's kind of difficult weather, har- harsh terrain, and well, fabric made out of gold is not going to help you out on some of that.
Yeah, it's like that scene from Independence Day where the mothership's walls gate is closing, the portal, the main aperture is closing, and they got to make it out right, and it's closing. They're almost not gonna make it. Like it's like that, but it's like Bobby. If you leave, if those people at the top leave right now, tender their resignations and get out, you guys can leave and out on your own terms. If you stay, it's just going to get worse. Choice is yours.
You know, these people are a lot of these people are very narcissistic. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I own a business, and for a while we were moderately successful. The COVID kicked us in the nuts, but I mean, so I understand there's a certain amount of ego driven in like pushing a business and having it be successful and make money and stuff like that. I can appreciate it. I can understand the mentality behind it. But some of the stuff that's been coming out of Bobby Kotick and what's been going on at Activision and Blizzard, I'm like, dude, leave. It's time to go. Because here's the thing. It's not like Yves Guillemot where it's literally like your family business that you grew to that point. This is not your business. You're just the CEO. You just come up with strategies to make people money. You leave, someone else will come in and steer them towards something else, and they'll still make money. But right now, Bobby Kotick is the albatross around this company's neck. him and the people under him who are on the executive board, they need to go. They need to go. All of them. Just, you know.
You need an entire flush of the entire upper half of the company.
Yeah, the executive board, him, all the people up at the top, they need to go. They need to go.
I said the entire upper half.
That's what I'm saying. Executive board, that's the upper half. Those are the people who make the business. Those are the people who make the major strategic decisions on where the business goes for their, their 1 year plan, their 5 year plan, their 10-year plan. The people who've been implementing these plans, who've been putting through these actions that have led to, people like women of color not being promoted and yet doing the work of other people. Protecting people who were assaulting women, leading to a culture where people felt like they couldn't come forward when they were being harassed or not. Hell, remember when everyone's like, yeah, Mike Ibarra and Jen O'Neill have been made the co-CEOs, which I've never fucking heard of Blizzard. Oh man, this means they're really serious about, they're really committed to, to diversity.
I was wondering, this is all on Blizzard.
What's a
What's with
co-CEO?
Activision?
Exactly. Because you've never heard of it. But the only reason they did that was to make it seem like they actually gave a fuck about women in the company. Because they didn't even. First of all, they didn't even pay that one. They didn't even raise her pay to be equal to the position when they put her there. So literally, she was just there as a face to make it look like they actually gave a shit when they really didn't. So, and for shit like that is why Bobby Kotick and all the executive board has to go. They have to go.
Yeah, as I said, that may be they were doing something with Blizzard. What about the Activision side?
The same things have been happening on the Activision side. Bobby, which is weird because Blizzard actually makes more money with less products coming out than Activision does. Like Activision makes like last fiscal quarter made like 400.
I'll make the joke that they did the Call of Duty stuff every year.
Well, so they include digital and like online shit. But basically, with 12 products coming out last fiscal year for Activision, they generated like $458 million in revenue. Whereas Blizzard came out with like 5 or 6, and they generate like $659 million in revenue. And it's always been like Blizzard is the more valuable company of the half of the business. Yeah, so I mean, really, like, why are you? First of all, they're killing the golden goose, but second of all, it's like you should be keeping these people happy because they make you the most money. Nah. That's like me going to my bartenders, who by far the most profitable part of my business are the bartenders, and saying, I'm gonna piss you people off. Yeah. Let me piss you people off who make me the most money. That's just bad business. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, we'll talk more about it Saturday for Ale of the Week. Speaking of deplorable human beings who just need to be
cleansed,
beaten with a bamboo stick, Extra Gaming, an esports. I don't know what Extra Gaming. It's some esports BS. I don't know. I'm not.
Esports crew basically.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, Extra Gaming, which was an esports kind of like business thing. One of their employees, workers, sportsmen, athletes. Okay, athlete. One of their athletes was sexually assaulted, and the CEO, instead of letting his employee come forward and say, "Hey, these people sexually assaulted me, and I want to report them," tried to dissuade the man twice. When he finally did come forward, they fired him, and basically like really disparaged this poor guy. And but now Extra Gaming has imploded, and I can't say
Things
I'm
are
surprised.
spilling out.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff, something delicious you're nibbling on.
No, I was taking my I had to take my my pre-bed pills,
Ah,
and I was like, I have some water here. I might as well take it right now.
so how many things did this esports crew gather up? At
Well,
least 10?
it turns out that this isn't the only person who's had some type of disrespectful, fucked up shit happen to them. Because typically speaking, when you hear some foul shit like this, it didn't just happen to one person who worked there. This has happened to a lot of people. So yeah, these are both two messed up people. Here's some more information. Extra Gaming's Twitter has been um, deleted, and their website has been taken down. Oh God. Yeah, I think they're having some problems.
Yeah, I've never heard of this company.
Neither have I, but their asses are gone now.
Well, yeah, looks like they have to disband.
But you see how quickly when you don't have a support group to protect the assholes, that everything implodes. The difference between this guy and Bobby K is that Bobby K has a lot of resources to protect his ass. The other guy didn't. But in both cases,
Something fell and things are spilling.
yeah, the shit hit the fan and it splattered everybody. Um, so what are your guys' thoughts on what are your guys' thoughts on the nature of these people thinking that they can do really messed up stuff with impunity with no repercussions? And then cover it up. Like, oh no, it's
I'm just
All
gonna
we,
say, hello, we might have a new asshole of the week.
well,
or a
Looks
the
like
thing is,
nominee.
we're champion.
the thing is, these people get so much money and power and so much attention that they believe that they're kings of the universe, and they do this stuff, and the thing is, they get away with it. People keep buying their products. People keep going to their shows. People keep watching their movies. And it's just like, well, people aren't putting me in jail. They keep supporting me, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing because I'm not getting punished for it. Everybody's too afraid to do anything. Because I can basically have this. They're under this delusion that, well, I can. Yeah, I've convinced them that I'm the final say in whether if they can live or die. So,
I can do what I want, and they have with impunity.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Until
cool.
these people, yeah, yeah, it's not until these people are held accountable. Until people stop buying their stuff and paying attention to what they have to say, and they're just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, that's the only way I can say to do it. Just not buying their stuff. That's the only way I can really, um, they or at least hold them accountable when they do stuff like that. Um, if you can't hold people accountable for when they do messed up stuff, then it's never going to end, and they're just going to keep on doing it. So, um, hopefully, uh, these people will be held accountable and it'll end. But you know, it seems with nowadays, it seems since people are becoming more, I don't want to use the term woke because people have tried to use that as a disparaging term. People are more aware of when messed up stuff happens and how it's not okay. Like you can't explain it away. Well, that's all right. Yeah, we did something that messed up, but it's okay. Um, people will be held accountable for doing messed up stuff because that's the problem. For people do stuff to try to get out of not being held accountable for their messed up stuff. You know,
Yep.
and like when you don't hold people accountable for when they do messed up stuff, this is what happens. So anyway, that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Let's keep it moving. So there were some surprisingly good stealth game releases this month. Aside, don't let Rockstar's GTA Definitive Edition um, uh,
Sour things.
sour things. There were actually some good games released. As a matter of fact, there actually are two uh, games that were just released that actually turned out to be pretty good. One is, and they're both based on League of Legends. One is called The Ruined King, which I remember seeing this game being shown off, and I was like, oh, that game looks interesting. But here's something you might not know about the game. About League of Legends being released is that League of Legends is damn, I was reading it. Is that Ruined King is made by the same studio who made Battle Chasers Night Ward. Matter of fact, playing the game, I'm like, man, this feels like Battle Chasers. And then I looked at the thing, it's the same studio. So literally, if you were like, man, I really like Battle Chasers, I wish there was a sequel, here you get an unofficial sequel to Battle Chasers. Wow. It's actually pretty good. It's got the same art style from Joe Madeira.
Yeah.
So, it's an RPG. Like, it's got turn-based combat. It's got the lanes from League of Legends. It's a pretty good little game. I've been enjoying it. It was $30 on Steam. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna take that hit. I'm gonna try it out, see how it is. And I'm not feeling bad. There's also a rhythm game that was released for $10, but made by the Bit Trip team. Where you play as...
That can't be too bad.
Well, yeah. When someone says a rhythm running game from Bit Trip, like everything they've done that's been like that, Bit Trip Runner 1, 2, 3, all those games were good. So with Captain Bit, so
Captain Radio or
Video. Captain Video, like those guys, like they have gotten that formula down. It's like if someone said, "Hey, man, Nintendo's releasing a 2D platformer." 2D platform, like it's probably going to be good because I've never played a bad 2D. Well, I haven't played a bad 2D Mario platformer for a very long time.
The only exception I would say would be the Mario Maker ones.
Yeah, but that isn't Nintendo. Those are people making levels using those assets. I mean, from Nintendo proper, I haven't played a bad 2D platformer from Nintendo proper, made by the Nintendo developers, the Tokyo EAD.
Exactly.
They don't make bad platform. They haven't. The only bad 2D platformer I've played from Nintendo is Zelda 2. That's pretty terrible. But
even the new Mario Brothers games aren't bad. They're just boring.
The new Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the new Super Mario Brothers games are boring. I would say that they're solidly made, but they're basic. Like instead of hewing so closely to the original Super Mario Brothers, which is basic in its design, it was great for its time, but I mean, it's like you have all this stuff. Why not do riffs on like later games in the series, like New Super Mario Brothers 2 or Super Mario Brothers USA? Like if they had taken that concept and applied that art style and done some really cool stuff, that would have been awesome. Or Super Mario Brothers 3 or Super Mario World. But like New Super Mario Brothers hewing so closely to the original Mario Brothers, which is a basic as fuck game. I mean, it's like if you look at it for its time, it's great. But if you look at it now, it's like Nintendo has made better 2D platformers since then. So why are you hewing so closely to this one?
I was gonna say it's like working with bread rather than some deluxe yeast byproduct, or I'm trying to think of something that's better for this
I'll
one.
give you a food analogy. It's like going out and milling some natural wheat and using that to make bread when you have refined flours now that are so much softer, so much better to use. It's like, why would you go and use that old shit? It's like, I don't get it, and
Thank you.
that's what it feels like with New Super Mario Brothers. But they are solidly made. Like even New Super Mario Brothers 2, which people consider that game to be
It's short. Even the
basic.
even if it, even if it even if the bread is ancient as F, it's still good, right?
You can do better. I'm just saying, you can do better. Like, whatever. But anyway,
Yeah.
but there were some good stealth games released. I mean, this month, and there's been good stealth games released all year. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it real. Just a little snippet for Game of the Year, which I guess we'll start getting our Game of the Year list ready for the week after next. Like the weekend after Thanksgiving. Like Game of the Year is very much like my Game of the Year. Most of them are games that were stealth released or small games that just surprised me in how good they were. None of my Game of the Years are like big, huge games that were announced and everyone's like, "Yeah, this is gonna be great." Uh, It's just to surprise people, just so that people will be surprised. Uh, I know some people are gonna get angry about that, but I don't care. It's my list. Um, so with that being said, anyone else have anything else they want to bring up before we wrap things up?
Eh, I think we got this one covered a little.
All right. Uh, anyone have any stealth games that came out that they were like, man, I can't believe this came out, and it's surprisingly good?
Not that I know of on the spot.
Nothing. Not Kena. Not Tavern Master. Not Sherlock Holmes.
I I joke about Boyfriend Dungeon, but I haven't gotten the full game as far as as far as here and now.
Yeah, I
I
played
think
Boyfriend Dungeon. It was kind of fun.
I think the closest thing would probably be Psychonauts 2 with all the delays and the fact that they were saying they were going to make a game and then didn't really come out. And it's like, well, I mean, we've seen this whole tactic with games taking forever to release and they
Yeah.
turn out not very good. And that game turned out to be excellent.
Yeah, but I know you were kind of surprised. I wasn't surprised because I was like, it's Tim Schafer and Double Fine. Like even when people hate on them, none of the games they've released have been like terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no game from them has been like, this game is a steaming pile of dog shit.
Yeah.
Like everything they've made has been very high quality to me. So anyway, so I guess we can move on to unpopular opinion because that's always fun. So who wants to give their unpopular opinion first? Because opinions are like a-holes. Everyone has one.
Seeing the hype of one of the games I grew up with, I'm just gonna say this now. You people that keep on putting your hopes in Legends, I'm just gonna say get off the hype train now for F's sake.
Legend. Oh, you mean Pokemon Legends and
Yes.
Diamond and Pearl? Yeah. The Pokemon Company hasn't really done anything innovative, like truly innovative, with Pokemon since Gen 6. So, and even in Gen 6, they still kind of didn't like. Gen 6 was just a throwback to Red and Blue. So, even then, that wasn't really innovative. But in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Kenoshi, you have any unpopular opinions you want to get off your chest?
Digimon had a better anime? That's the only thing I can think of.
It did. Digimon did have a better anime.
I'm laughing because I know how true that is at times, depending on the season.
No,
But yeah,
no, even Digimon always had better anime because Digimon had characters actually have character growth over time. Like Ash Ketchum, there's no time change. He doesn't really grow up. He doesn't really change. Like he finally wins a tournament, like like 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons in.
and 7 generations later.
Like Ash, like I'm telling you right now, Pokemon is a basic as fuck cartoon series. Digimon actually tried to do something cool, and I
Yeah,
have
I
to
also
applaud it for that.
I could agree there. It's just that I said that it depends season to season because some of the seasons really hit you hard, and others will make you tilt your head and say, "What?"
Yeah, but even the kind of even the weak Digimon seasons are still better than anything that came out of Pokemon though. I mean it's like even their shit was still pretty good compared to Pokemon. Pokemon is not.
I fell off of like I'm sure that season wasn't bad, but I fell off of Digimon season 3 because they got rid of all the old characters.
Yeah, but
Um, I've my my my
I mean, it
fault
was probably
was season
necessary, but
4 because of how the story flowed. But
well,
I do look back at it every time and then.
well, the thing is that they had to show off new Digimon, which makes sense. But I mean, it's still like even the new characters had some pretty interesting stuff going on.
Yeah,
Like I mean, with Pokemon, there's no interesting characters in Pokemon in the cartoon
I,
series. They're all just
I was gonna
annoying.
say the main cast is usually the most annoying.
Like I'm gonna keep it real. Look, Ash, I'm gonna break it down to you, okay? Ash, Gary Oak, he's fucking your mom, dude. Like every time you call home, Gary Oak's answering your phone in your house wearing
Oh,
shorts,
oh,
and your mom's always smiling even though she hasn't seen her husband in like 15, 20 years. Yeah,
oh.
Gary Oak's laying it down to your mom, dude.
And
He's laying down
and
the
now
other.
he's a researcher. He can study more of that fine fine behind that is refined.
So why doesn't Gary Oak? Why
He's laying
doesn't
down
Gary
the
I'm
other.
Oak
sorry.
just make it official? So then, like Ash Ketchum could totally kick Gary's ass. Cause he's like, well, technically, I'm your uncle. By marriage, he would be Gary's uncle. But you know, it's Pokemon. Um, yeah, yeah. Pokemon has always had a weak. As a matter of fact, I would say Pokemon is one of the weakest fucking animes based on a video game, like cartoons based on a video game. Uh,
And Pokemon is the textbook definition. The anime is like the textbook definition of, trying to sell games and toys to kids. Like,
yeah, and it's
it really didn't even
basic.
try.
It's
Yeah.
basic. It doesn't try to do anything interesting. The story is trash. Like I said, like okay, what we got from Pokemon is this basic that even gives you false information. Um, like initially, it was supposed to be there to help kids get better at playing Pokemon, either the trading card game or the video game. Well, the video game, then the trading card game. But now it's just some stupid shit just to sell you useless Pokemon paraphernalia. But I mean, it works because the Pokemon Company has a lot of money. What we deserved was an anime like Pokemon Generations.
Oh yeah,
That's what we
Oh,
deserved.
yeah.
What we
We
got
didn't get
was some
that.
shit. What we deserved was Pokemon Generations.
Yeah.
Um,
Sadly, I'll fully agree because seriously, we need at least some new some new feeling into the series, and well, Generations was better deal.
Like even now, if they did like a limited run on like Netflix of Pokemon Generations, I'd watch that. Like 10 episodes, and like each season would follow like a different color. Like season 1 would follow red, season 2 red and blue, season 2 would follow gold and silver, season 3 would follow uh, diamond
Ruby,
Diamond and Pearl. Season 4 was Ruby and Sapphire, etc., etc., black and white.
yeah.
Like, I would watch that. And then, yeah, you could have in season 1 the end, like, some punk goes up, I'm Ash, sit your ass down. My Pikachu, my super Pikachu, and then gets murdered, gets the shit murdered out of it by real Pokemon trainers. No!
I would make the joke that you'd really love that episode for sure.
My Pikachu! You know, Ash Ketchum's magic Pikachu that can thunder shock a rock ground type Pokemon. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I when I saw the Pokemon movie and I saw that shit, I was like, man, fuck this movie. And when they killed Ash and he was brought back by the power of tears from Pokemon, I was like, fuck this. I hate sentimental shit like that in animes. I hate that shit.
I think that kind of stuff I can actually tolerate because if anything, cheese. Sometimes you need some cheese to lighten the mood.
No, you
But
need earned sentimentality. Sentimentality has to be earned. You have to earn the
You have to earn those revivals.
Yeah, you have to earn tears. You have to earn sadness. You can't just say
I said that. I call it the power of cheese.
Like, okay, if you had Ash basically like through 30 minutes of that 80-minute movie, if you had Ash basically like trying his damnedest to not fight the other Pokemon and like, I'm not gonna fight you. Like, if he had been like getting attacked by the Pokemon, it's like, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna do this. And like him reaching the heart. If they'd have had that, I'd say, okay, you earn the right to have all these Pokemon crying because Mewtwo is forcing them to fight him. But no, just out of nowhere, we're crying for this little fucker right here. Yeah, whatever. Fuck off with that shit. Yeah, I still.
Yeah. And here's a quick second unpopular opinion. Anime movies are a waste of time. They're a waste of everybody's time. They do nothing for the plot. They don't add to the plot. They're high budget fillers. Yeah, and I think this was brought up at least a few casts ago about anime movies.
I would agree with you except for a few exceptions. Like One Piece, their anime movies actually do take place in the same universe, and character development in the movies carries on to other stuff.
As I said, your mom might carry on
Demon
the
Slayer.
movie, but
The Demon Slayer movie actually does cover a lot of stuff. Like, it actually does have connections with the main series. So that, you know, I'm not gonna say, but I agree with you. By and large, like 95% of anime movies are bullshit.
Yeah.
So
for me, I'd say your mileage may vary depending on the anime.
I mean, the only anime movie that I've seen from a mainstream anime where the movie kind of does fit in with the main story is Inuyasha, and that's because the ending of Inuyasha, the anime, is trash.
I've heard.
And they had to finish that story off. They had to. People were gonna riot. People were gonna.
Well, the thing is, I kind of jumped off that anime during the. I think it was when they were hunting this Brotherhood or something. I forgot what they were called. Because it was taking forever.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact sagas in Inuyasha. I just remember the overall storyline because I used to watch it. Because, you know, I was one of those people who watched Inuyasha when I got home from school. So, and, you know, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that wasn't a good movie there.
Well, I mean, the movie finished off the story because the ending of Inuyasha has this very unfulfilling, like.
It was a bit. I was about to say the anime series' ending was lactose BS.
Yeah, it was trash, but the ending of the movie wasn't good either. But it was at least was a period on the end of the sentence because the series ending was trash. But I agree. Yeah.
Felt like they were. I don't know.
Because they didn't know how to finish it off. They didn't know how to.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to finish it off. Which is weird because I am a Rumiko Takahashi fan.
Oh.
And I've read a lot of her series, like Mermaid, her Rumik trilogy, and of course her other two popular anime mangas before she ever got to Inuyasha, which was Lum, and of course my personal favorite, Ranma Half. Rumiko Takahashi and Ranma Half. She loves having random shots of a woman's bust, of a bare bust. And it's nothing sexual about it. It's just randomly. I don't know why. I mean, Ranma Half, it makes sense because Ranma, when he's in his male form, will take off his shirt because he's sweaty because he's a martial artist, and he'll get splashed with cold water and turn into a girl. And he doesn't give a shit because in his mind, he's a dude. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then someone will see him, and he's like, oh shit! I'm seeing some lady! This is awkward. This shit. Yeah, if anyone ever gets the chance to read Ranma Half, the manga series, it is great. Ranma has some of the best character development that Rumiko Takahashi's ever done. It's like, because for one thing, Ranma has character growth over time.
The thing that bothered me about Inuyasha was I don't know. I was just at the point where I was just sick of characters chasing magical MacGuffins like
the Shikan Jewel shards. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with that.
Well, because they had to stretch it out because they were trying to make money. Dragon Ball Z. But I will say this much.
It's funny that I would say that Dragon Ball Z did anime better than Inuyasha.
Well, because the filler episodes in Dragon Ball Z were still interesting. There was interesting stuff going on. Inuyasha's filler, where they stretched things out, just padded it out and made it longer than it needed to be. For a relatively interesting story, and things that they should have focused on, like why did Inuyasha's father,
give him such a powerful weapon?
No, why did Inuyasha's father fall in love with a human woman? Why did he basically give his son Inuyasha such a powerful weapon that could destroy anything, whereas his older son, he gave him the weapon that could heal anything? Why? That's a very odd relationship. I know his brother, Sashomaru, I know his brother was like, yeah, you're half human, so you're trash and you're weak. But it's like, there were other demon siblings in that show that didn't act like that towards their siblings. So it was just a really weird, it's like, there was a lot of shit not being said that they should have really gone into. So there was a lot of small things where I'm like, man, y'all could have gone in depth on this, and they didn't. But like I said, what hurt that show was just them constantly padding it out to make it longer. And it kind of ran out of steam at a certain point because Rumiko Takahashi was like, look, I'm tired. I want to go work on something else. Like I said, I'm a Rumiko Takahashi fan. I've read a lot of her series, like Lum, Rumik World, something Mermaid. I forgot the name of it. It's a book series about these Chinese mermaids, like Asian, Japanese mermaids. These ain't like the mermaids you see in Ariel.
Disney movies?
Yeah, in the Disney movies. These are mermaids that look like monsters, and if you eat their heart, you'll turn immortal or turn into a monster. It's like one of the two choices. One or two things that happen.
Alien looking.
Yeah, it's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, that's kind of how I picture if a mermaid was. If a mermaid existed in real life, they wouldn't look like Ariel, they would more look alien or monstrous.
Yeah, it'd be some Cthulhu Dagon shit. but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, but like I said, the best Rumiko Takahashi series in my opinion is Ranma Half, because Ranma Half has a lot of character development. There is a character who everyone loves. There's a lot of people who like Ranma. There's a lot of people who like Ryoga. Akane, who's always kicking Ranma's ass. She's awesome. Dr. Tofu. Ranma's father, Genma.
Oh God, Pat.
Genma, who fell into a pond that turns him to a panda. A giant panda. Whereas Ranma turns into a young girl.
Is there any explanation of why this happens, or is it just
Yes? He and his father are professional martial artists, and so they went to this martial arts training ground in China. They were going to, but here's the thing: Genma can't speak Chinese, so they had a guide with them who was telling them, "Don't go here because this is the accursed land of 1,000 springs, where like every spring something tragic happened and something drowned in the spring." And Genma fell in the spring where a panda drowned, and Ranma fell in the spring where a young maiden drowned. So basically, when you fall in the spring, when you get hit with cold water, you turn into what drowned in that spring. So Genma's father turns into a panda, and Ranma turns into a young girl.
No.
And I mean, the whole conceit of the show is that Genma promised Ranma's mother, who is like even more badass and hardcore than Genma, that I'm gonna make a man out of Ranma. Well, how the hell can you make a man out of your son who turns into a girl whenever he gets splashed with cold water? And his mother says, if you can't make my son into, like, his mother's really hardcore. She's like, you'll have to commit seppuku. So disembowel yourself and then get your head cut off. So Genma's been hiding out with the Tendo family because the Tendo father and Genma trained under the same master, who is evil. They call him Hapasai. Hapasai is this bald-looking gremlin dude who's insanely powerful. Like he is like
I heard that name right, that means he's a gremlin that knows how to kick serious rear end.
Yes. Hapasai has this special technique called the Moxibustion technique, where basically he hits pressure point on your body that ruins your physical strength, which is what happened to Ranma, which is why he had to learn the rapid punch technique from Hapasai's former girlfriend, Shampoo, who is a girl that fell in love with Ranma, but also wants to kill him because she's a Chinese Amazon who fell in love with the male version of Ranma, but when he turned into a girl, she thinks the female version of Ranma is her romantic rival, so she wants to kill the female version of Ranma. So it's like so it's like a comedy of errors. Like Ranma is one big comedy of errors. But anyway, he learns the rapid punch technique from Shampoo's grandmother named Grandma Ghoul, who also happens to be the former girlfriend of Hapasai, and she wants to kill his ass too.
Oh, come on!
And Grandma Ghoul also teaches Ranma his ultimate attack, which is his Hiryu Shoten-ha, which is his rising dragon uppercut. And basically, this attack is a hurricane upper. Like, it basically puts Ryu's Shoryuken into it's trash.
In the context?
It's in the trash. The Hiryu Shoten-ha looks badass as fuck. It's some Dragon Ball Z shit. Like, early Dragon Ball Z shit. Or like late Dragon Ball level shit. Like, it's insane. And anyway, yeah, Ranma Half, one of the best anime. The anime's censored. Read the manga. The manga gets the joke. The jokes are much better, and if you're okay with seeing a female artist draw a young girl boobs, but I mean that's part of the joke is that Ranma doesn't care because he's a dude, and people are surprised because they think it's a chick. What?
Even in Japanese, it's censored?
No.
No.
That's the thing. In Japanese, it's not censored. But if you watch the anime, it's censored. Like a lot of the jokes don't get across because, like, okay, the first time Ranma meets his fiance, his betrothed, which is Akane Tendo, um, like basically what happens is like when they get to the Tendo residence, he's been splashed with water, so he looks like a girl. So Akane's like they spar and Ranma beats her, and she's like, well, you know, at least you're not a dude, because if I had lost to a dude, I'd be angry. So
Oh boy.
she's like, yeah, you can take the shower first. He's like, thanks, but he still looks like a girl. And he's getting in the shower. He's getting in the bath. And you know, in Japan, they wash off first, and then they get in the water. So he's getting in the hot water. He turns into a dude. Well, right as he's getting in, like all his shit is out, and she opens up the door and sees him. And then she closes it and walks away, and she gets a rock to drown his ass. She's like, "I'm gonna kill you! I'll kill him! You pervert!" She didn't know who the fuck it was. Like, it's one big comedy of errors. That's what makes Ranma. Like his rival is Ryoga. Ryoga fell into a pond at the land of 1,000 Cursed Springs. He fell into a pond where a small pig drowned. So Ryoga, when he gets splashed with water, turns into a little pet pig, like a mini pig. And Ryoga's weapon of choice is this massive metal heavy duty battle umbrella, but Ryoga has a terrible sense of
aim.
No, sense of direction. He's like or I should say Roronoa Zoro is like him. Because Ranma Half came out in the 80s. So it came out way earlier than One Piece. But yeah, One Piece is great. It's one of my favorite. Not One Piece. Ranma Half is one of my favorite mangas. If you guys ever get a chance, I read One Piece. One Piece. I read Ranma Half.
Sometime back.
No, I read Ranma Half in my local library. Believe it or not. Because that was the only way at the time. Those are the only people who had like the first 15 volumes. Like, only they had the first 15 volumes. Like, no one else had the first 15, so. But yeah, Ranma Half, great anime. It's really good. You guys should read it if you ever get a chance. I guess it's my turn to give my unpopular opinion. I have two unpopular opinions as well. My first unpopular opinion is this. And it's about movies. Look, I don't have anything against companies rebooting movies
series.
Rebooting franchises or like capitalizing on the IP. I'd have nothing against that. But if you're gonna do that, make something good. I had a friend who reviewed, got an early screening of Ghostbusters Afterlife, and he said it's really good. It respects the property, and you can tell that the people who made it gave a fuck about it, which is a major contrast to 2016 Ghostbusters, which was just fucking trash.
Thank God. Thank God.
I plan on watching it when it comes out, because I am a Ghostbusters fan. You know, people are like, oh, what do you mean? You're talking to someone who loves Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, the real Ghostbusters, the extreme Ghostbusters, has 2 Ghostbusters video games. Like, I'm a Ghostbuster, you know, went to Universal Studios back in the day when they had the Ghostbusters live show, and I bought the Proton Pack, the Ghost Catcher, the Trap, multiple action figures, like back in the day. Like, I'm a Ghostbusters fanboy. I'm not one of those people who goes cosplaying as Winston, but when it comes to like buying Ghostbusters products, I am that type of fan. So I really wanted Ghostbusters 2016 to be good, but the more I heard about it, I was like, this is gonna suck. And I was right. my bullshit senses were tingling. Bullshit senses tingling. And if you want to know what it feels like when my bullshit senses are tingling, It's a rumbling in the upper part of my stomach that lets me know there's bullshit afoot. It doesn't always work. Sometimes they really hide the signs, like with Rockstar's release of GTA trilogy re-release, but remaster. But most of the time, it's really hard to pull some bullshit over on me. I can see through that shit like a Jedi senses, the dark side. I feel a presence that I haven't felt since. It's bullshit. It's total incomplete bullshit. My second unpopular opinion is about video games, because it's got to be said.
Why not?
And I'm kind of stealing this a little bit from Kenoshi's Apple sucks now and it's your fault post. Look, just because you didn't have a bad experience with something doesn't negate other people who did. Okay? Like,
Yep.
if you go to a restaurant and you didn't get sick eating there, and someone you know went to that same restaurant and ate the same meal and they got sick, don't say, well, because I didn't get sick, the fact you got sick doesn't matter or have value. Okay? And this goes to video games, all right? I know there are people who played Breath of the Wild, didn't have any crashes or anything. I'm okay with that. I had crashes. I had crashes on that game and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. My experience is just as valid as yours in terms of my judgment of the product. All right. But with that being said, that's my unpopular opinion. Anything else you guys want to bring up? Because we're in the free topic portion. We're in the home stretch. Anything you guys want to bring up as a topic for discussion that you guys are like, we need to talk about this. This needs to be.
Just I'm just freeballing here to see if we can bring up some thoughts.
All right.
What thoughts about sports games and video games at least? Should they be more realistic fantasy, or should they just get modified overall?
It depends what you're into. I like the more arcadey things. I think there's room for sports simulation games.
I'm asking this
Well,
because
there's an
so
audience
far
for it.
the most we usually see of sports games are the sports simulations. And well, you can imagine how fun those are.
Again, it depends what kind of person you are, what you're into.
For
Yeah,
me, I actually miss the arcade ones.
Yeah, I think it should depend on the audience, because I think that there's some games, like there's some people who like playing Sims. Like they like the aspect of managing a team and recruiting players and training them and stuff like that. And then the actual game that has like a control aspect too, but really the simulation is what they like. And then there are people who just want to sit down and play a game. So I think there's room for both. I think for
Yeah,
more
just
casual
if anything,
players,
I felt like we've been missing out on the on the more other sides of the sports games. You know, the arcade, the
I agree.
wackiness, the fantasy
I agree.
ones.
Yeah,
I mean, I would
yeah,
love
definitely.
another Super Mutant League Football from EA. More arcadey, more fun.
Yeah,
Um,
I've been missing those, and I've been wondering when are we gonna get more of those.
I don't know, but I would enjoy it. I would love to play a more. I would love to see more arcade like sports games. Hell, I mean, remember when Nintendo made arcade like sports games? I mean, when was the last time we
The
had a
last
Mario Soccer?
I was about to say the last sports game I could kind of recall would be Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Well, I mean, they had
And
Mario Tennis, and Mario Golf, but eh.
at least as far as memorable ones.
Yeah, I know this is gonna sound bad, but I've never been a big fan of of the console Mario Tennises and Mario Golfs. I like the more RPG versions of those games that were on handhelds. Um, but yeah, like, wouldn't it be cool to have a? I mean, I keep on saying this, and I'm gonna keep on saying it until Nintendo makes it true. Mario football, not soccer, football. I mean, you already have look. You have Charging Chuck, who's a football player. He's got a helmet and everything.
It's an auto shot right there.
I mean, hell, you could
Say that.
you could have the different kingdoms, and each kingdom would have their own team, and the game would start in the Mushroom Kingdom, where you basically recruit characters around the Mushroom Kingdom to kind of to build a team, like an 11-person team, to take on like whoever's in the Mushroom Kingdom. And then as you go forward, you can like do like little challenges that are like side quests and shit to recruit new characters to join your roster and stuff, and move characters out. Because in the Mushroom Kingdom, all you're gonna have are Goombas and trolls. I mean toads. And Goombas and toads suck at slime.
I was gonna make the joke that you basically got your Goombas, your toads, your turtles.
Yeah.
These are your lucky.
But that would be cool in my opinion. Yeah, bring those sports games back. Kanoshi, you have any thoughts? I guess he went away. But yeah, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Any other topic you want to bring up before we wrap things up?
At least I'm trying to think of something here because I'm trying to at least end on some kind of fun note.
You guys watch anything for Thanksgiving? You guys seen any good movies lately?
Not lately.
I've been going through some anime movies for a bit, trying to get
watching a little bit of Young Justice
on
HBO Max.
HBO Max. Yeah, HBO Max is great. It's ridiculous how great HBO Max is. Everything you want to watch is on HBO Max. Like, you want to watch old school Looney Tunes, you can watch old school Looney Tunes. You want to watch like new stuff, it's on HBO Max. HBO Max is great. I've been watching Batman Brave and the Bold on there. I've been watching the 2 Justice Leagues. I've been watching Batman the Animated Series. It's just great. I love it.
You should check that out. But one topic I wanted to bring up was from that video I posted earlier today, and one of the things we've talked about is how it seems like hardware is more focused on getting faster and faster rather than focusing more on software optimization.
It's more like we're getting hardware that's focused like Sonic rather than something that's more focused like a brick.
If you watch that video, he talks about how a lot of software, a lot of hardware that comes out from Apple, and not just from Apple, it just seems to be a problem across the board. It comes out as somewhat buggy, and not. It comes out as near unacceptable, and that's it seems like that's not only a problem in games, but a problem in software in general. Or it's becoming a problem in software.
It makes sense. I mean, because you have to remember, all of this, it comes from people just kind of, how can I put this nicely? People shitting out a product and not actually worrying about the other parts of what go with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of scary because a lot of cars are becoming more and more computer dependent.
Yeah.
And you can't especially with cars, you can't have a half baked software implementation in a car because that's going to cause a 23 car pileup. So and yeah, you don't want to pay for that because now it's just it goes beyond dissatisfied customers and it goes and now you're destroying people's lives. Later, you know.
No, I agree. I agree. And no one wants to ask the important question of what's going on. They just want to
Yeah.
sit there and just take it, But like I said, all this boils down. All of this is because people let it happen. They don't ask questions. They don't hold these companies accountable. They wave it away. It's like, hey, and this is like computer. Hey, this product has defect. Well, fuck it. Your problem. It's not my problem. It's your problem.
And yeah, so I I don't know. I mean, everybody's excited to say about the new Intel chips that are coming out, but it's even those have problems with with software talking to it. Like you have on Windows 10, it has it might have been fixed. I don't know, but when it first came out, there was a registry problem, which the registry is essentially how the CPU uh, it's how the CPU processes various commands from various parts of the computer, and the register on Windows 10 doesn't work properly, but it does on Windows 11. You also have the fact that it eats up a lot of at least the higher end ones eats up a lot of power, but yeah, I mean it's just and the hardware isn't necessarily thinking way beyond just I mean as far as the stuff I watch, thinking beyond just how fast can we um
Get
implement
moving.
yeah process this information rather than just I don't know.
Well, all of it, like the thing is, it doesn't matter how good the hardware is. It's the software that runs on the hardware. You know, um,
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I mean, at the end of the day, all of this is predicated on do these people care? Like, do these people care about you know, you know, do they care about basically really making a good product, or do they care more about trying to fucking sell you an upgrade to make you spend more money? And I mean, like you mentioned, Intel, right? Well, I mean, like these are new CPUs, right? New CPUs and GPUs coming out from Intel. I hope no one's just going to go out and buy that. I hope you wait a while because, like with any of these CPUs and GPUs, wait a little bit. It's not going to be great day one. Nothing
Yeah.
coming out day one is going to be great. Wait a little bit.
That's
Let
why it's
other
called
people take that hit, being beta testers.
paraphrasing what Jay's 2 cents said, has said, um, it's bleeding edge technology. It's not when you if you're an early adopter, it's gonna hurt a little bit. That's why it's called bleeding edge.
Yeah, and if you don't want to take that hit, don't do it. Like, I mean, look, listen. Typically speaking, it's like Windows 11, right? Microsoft's like, yeah, upgrade to Windows 11. Like, hell, I will. Look, I will upgrade to Windows 11 when I have no choice but to. Like, you're gonna have to threaten me with a jail sentence for me to upgrade to Windows. I mean, not that far, but you get what I'm saying. It's gonna be. It's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be an easy. Oh, you just do it. I'm gonna wait until there's more software support for it. I'm gonna wait until the programs that I want to run on Windows 11 run on Windows 11. Now, until that time, there's no reason for me to go to Windows 11, and that's just the
Yeah,
way it
exactly.
is. Um, you know, um, just wait. Like, everyone's like, look, you don't need to have the latest CPU like this year or even next year. Wait 2 or 3 years for them to iron out the kinks. We don't know where technology is going. We don't. Like, think about all those dumbass people who bought a PS4 for the Blu-ray player when they spend most of their money on streaming and don't even use the Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
Just wait. Like, you don't have to, like, unless you are a college student or you have a business where you absolutely need a computer in order to, like a high-powered computer in order to do something, you don't need the latest and greatest anything. You really don't. You know, so just wait. Bide your time. Take a step back. Chill. But anyway, that's those are just my thoughts on it. I agree with you. I don't think everyone should be just, I don't think people should be jumping into, getting the latest, because I mean that's a typical fallacy that these companies use in order to sell you a product. Well, don't you want the latest and the greatest? Sometimes latest and the greatest is great. Sometimes the latest and the greatest sucks. Like, if you get the latest greatest Apple products, guess what? You don't have a wired headphone jack on those devices.
That's the thing. Like, especially their higher end stuff, like their laptops. You're paying $2.5 grand for a laptop, for their higher end laptops. And you don't want to be buying a new laptop, a new MacBook Pro every year it comes out, unless you're just crazy.
Some people do it though.
I mean, I get why reviewers do it, but the normal person that just needs a laptop, that's kind of crazy.
I'm just saying, they do it though.
Yeah, I mean, you get people that buy, that buy a new graphics card every year.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't get that at all. I some things I can understand, but a new graphics card every year, unless you have a job, like, okay, if you professionally review video games, makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
console, PC video game, okay, makes sense. Or if you do like, if you make videos or something like that, then yes, you need a new graphics card every year for the latest greatest features and all that shit. But even those people aren't buying new shit every year, so I think that they're just doing that because they're having a dick measuring contest with the specs in their PC. That's what I think. But those are just my opinions. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. Anything else you want to say before we move on to the before we close things out? Close out your argument. All right, that's the end of this podcast. Stay tuned for next week, where we will be discussing, or not next week, Saturday, where we will be going in depth on some of the accusations to some of the people who we will definitely be nominating for A-Hole of the Week. Now, who will win? Nobody knows. It's anyone could win A-Hole of the Week, but these will be the nominations coming this Saturday. So with that being said, if you want to get in touch with the cast, all the details to get in touch with the cast are in the description
below.
Emails, Discords, all that fun stuff. Give your sign-offs, and then we'll wrap things up, y'all.
Thank you for joining us on the BS Busters Midweek Podcast. We'll see you Saturday.
This is Kanoshi Abominito. Glad to be on another BS Busters. Do as you will. Just make sure you're willing to deal with the consequences.
Yeah. Them consequences are a bitch. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs